So the start of our workout today is going to be focused on vertical power, as well as making sure that you guys have really strong glutes, quads, and hips. So especially for athletes, maintaining that athletic position, which is like hips back, chest out, shoulders back, and then keeping your hips low, just so that way you're ready for whatever your opponent's going to be doing. In a fast-moving sport, this is going to be super important for you guys to be focusing on and practicing a lot. So to start off with this movement, which is going to be a knee get-up to a jump, we're going to be focusing on maintaining that athletic position and also getting as much drive vertically as possible. So to start off, you're going to do 10 starting on each leg. That's going to make sense in a second. So keeping our hips back. It's called a knee get up because we start on our knees. We want to have our hands in front of us, just kind of like if you were a baseball, softball player, kind of ready position, nice and agile, nice and loose with our upper body. And our first step is going to be bringing, let's say I'm starting with my right leg, so I'm going to bring my right leg forward. I want to keep a 90-degree angle with this. That's really important because if I start to move my toe forward or my weight forward in my foot, it's really going to put a lot of pressure on my knee, which I don't want. And then also, I'm not going to get as much drive starting from my toe as if I was going to drive from the back of my foot. So, again, bring that right foot up, knee basically right over your heel, arms in front, bringing your left foot forward and back up a little bit. And from this position, which is our athletic position that we know so well, then we're going to jump up and then land right back into that position. From here, I'm going to send my right leg, which I started with, back first. Again, basically keeping that 90-degree angle, toes planted, and then my left leg follows. So we're going to do this 9 more times consecutively, starting with your right leg, and then you're going to do 10 starting with your left. Alright guys, so the second exercise that we're going to be doing today is called beast flow or animal flow. So this is a really popular movement because there's about 1 million different variations that you can do to it, but we're going to keep it simple. We're going to keep it to 2. So the first one that we're going to go through is really just like a warm-up. You can literally use it every time you work out as one of your warm-ups. This movement itself is really great full body exercise. You're going to feel that your shoulders are probably going to be burning by the end of this. Your core is really heavily involved, and your legs are probably going to be burning too. So you're going to feel it pretty much everywhere. So the first movement that we're going to do, which is that base movement, that warm-up, it's literally just going to be shifting your body weight back and forth. Super simple. But the second exercise is called a kick-through. That's going to require a lot more technique, breakdown. Probably take it slow for the first round or even just take a practice round. But I'm going to walk you through all of that right now. So to get into that base position, sort of like go to that center beginning position, this is what that's going to look like. So to start off, you want to have your hands spread wide, shoulder width, and you want your hands to be directly under your shoulders. So your legs, they're going to be in about a 90-degree angle. Toes are going to be planted into the ground, and you want your knees basically right under your hips. From here, think chest out, shoulders back, so that way we don't have an arch in our back. We want to stay nice and neutral. Chin down, and you're going to lift your knees off the ground. From here, now that I have a neutral spine, everything's lined up, I'm going to slowly shift my weight back, and then return to center. Inhale when you go back. Exhale when you come forward. A lot of times you'll probably need to readjust yourself here, which is totally fine. So that's going to be that warm-up that we talked about, the back and forth beast flow, animal flow. So the second part is a lot more complex. This is where we get into our kick-through. So with the kick-through, same basic setup. Everything is always going to come back to this starting position. But now there's going to be a little rotational work that we're going to be doing. So I got my setup right. And now I'm going to take I'm going to go start off with going towards my right side. So I'm going to take my right foot, which is going to be my pivot foot. All of my weight is eventually going to be on 2 points. So it's really important that we keep our weight centered so that way we don't fall over. So my pivot foot, my right foot, I'm going to twist that first, opening my body up. My toe is going to be pointed perpendicular to my hand. My hand that's now off the ground is going to be tucked into my chest, and I'm going to kick through, keeping my body all centered. My core is really helping me stand up in place right here. And now, return. And again, you're probably going to need to readjust a little bit, which is totally okay. Check yourself before every rep. Make sure that your body's balanced. You do your checkpoints of hands under shoulders, knees under hips. And rotate, kick through, and back. Rotate, kick through, and back. So our final exercise today is going to be called a pillar rotation. Pillar rotations are about shoulders and they're about your obliques, which is the side of your core. So in order to do this properly, a couple things need to happen. One, you need to make sure that your lower body isn't moving whatsoever. So I want you to have a very narrow stance during this. And I also want you to think, you're probably going to hear me say this a million times, chest out, shoulders back. The reason I'm saying that so much, by the way, is only because that's really the setup that helps you get that neutral spine position. When you do that, it makes it a lot easier to work your core, because if you're arching your back like this, almost guaranteed that this is not helping you out whatsoever. So we want to make sure that your core is staying super active in everything we do, but especially in a core workout. So in order to do your pillar rotation, you don't need to have a dumbbell. You want to have something around 5 to 10 pounds, depending on how challenging you want it to be. Obviously, the more challenging the exercise, you're going to have a heavier weight. So to start off, like I said, narrow stance. You want to have chest out, shoulders back. Even better if you can pack your rib cage down or think about bring your belly button towards your chin. And that's going to help get your core nice and turned on. From here, for the pillar rotation, we're going to have our arms straight out in front of us. And we're going to rotate, keeping the dumbbell right even with your shoulder height. So, what you're going to do, you're going to do 15 on one side, then 15 on the other. You're not going to be alternating, just go all 15 on one side first, and then go to the other. What's going to be helpful in not having your hips open up when you do the rotation, instead of being here, is squeezing your butt. If you're squeezing your butt while you do this exercise, it's going to be a lot easier to be stable. And then you're going to have more control, and your obliques are going to get the most efficient workout possible, which is really what we're aiming for in this.